Good morning, and welcome to yet another episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. It is I, your host, Pogo Kiddo. Hello, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes. Today is a very special day. Wait, we're like the sound's going. All right, making sure. Today is a very, very special day. It's like a conjunction of many things at once. It is at once it is at once Pride Month, Juneteenth, and Father's Day. So that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of stuff going on. But before I get into that, let me take care of what I'm staring at right here. This everyone is a fully operational auto crop farm. Da da dum. It's like the Borg, but nice. So inside each module is a farmer with many crops and many glow lights, and in the corner is a dude waiting, a dude waiting. Here, let's take this off. So in each module, there's a guy getting the crops, and then he goes over to this dude and he passes over those crops. Except he can't because it falls into the hopper and goes into this area. And you can see like this is really effective. This works really good. Once it starts going, like it takes a lot of work to get up and running, but once it's going, wow, it goes. It goes. Let me tell you. So yeah, that has been going. It has been going. Um, yeah. So each level does a different crop. That one's um potatoes. That one is beetroot, and the top one is carrots. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Pretty sure that's how it works. Should double check it to make sure it's actually going in that direction. Yeah. All right. So today, very special day. Very special day. It is at once Juneteenth, which is the day the U.S. Army rolled into Texas and told the slavers in Texas, you can no longer be slavers. The U.S. Army will stop you. You cannot enslave people any longer. That was 2.5 years after Lincoln had signed the Declaration of, or the Emancipation Proclamation. So not only did the information have to travel all the way from Washington, D.C., down to Texas, but it also they also had to win the war. You couldn't just tell people. You had to bring an army with you to enforce it, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like they needed to bring an army to Texas to make sure they couldn't enslave people. And I think the latest news now is everyone's talking about the Texas plank, the Texas GOP, because the national Republicans don't have a plank, a platform. They did not write up a list of what they're going to do. The national Republicans did not do that. They have no idea, no list, no document that they can show you about their plans for the future. They have nothing. National Republicans did nothing. They have no plans for the future. But the state Republicans, the state Republican parties, they do write up a plan for the future, and they call it a platform. And every idea you put into that platform is called a plank. Like this. Like I'm standing on planks of wood. Like this is their platform, and every little piece is a plank. Every block is a plank, and every idea is a plank. And that's how you build your platform. Okay. So in Texas, they did two things that were noteworthy. One thing that was noteworthy was they mentioned that they have the right to secede at any time, which is bullshit. They don't. we've already like taken care of that. Like, hey guy, I'm gonna. Oh, good. Please don't get eaten by a wolf. Okay. Texas said they have the right to secede, which they don't. We've already established that. It's already been taken care of. Many people died to make sure to answer the question of can a state secede, and the answer is no. No, you cannot secede once you're in. Once you're in, you're in. The only way of getting out is if you get rid of the whole thing. And that is a question for another time, because I don't think we're there yet. In fact, the only ones that are saying get rid of the whole thing are the Confederates. They're like, if we can't take control of it, we're just going to get rid of the whole thing. And you can see that's what's happening. Because right away, like Texas is already a state in which voting is suppressed. The minority white supremacist population has taken control of the state and enacted laws which further restrict the ability of the people to vote and make their voices known to the government, make their will known to the government. They have taken that away, and then on their in their platform, they say this minority government, which does not rule by the will of the majority. It's not by the will of the majority. It's a manufactured majority, an artificial majority, manufactured through voter suppression is what they have right now. But so it's a minority government in Texas, and this minority government in Texas is saying they will leave the Union of the United States in order to pursue a minority rule. Pretty bold talk. Pretty bold talk for a state that's already been occupied. I mean, there's a federal base there right now. What are you even thinking? There's a federal base there right now. I mean, what? Do you think your little Texas militia is gonna do anything to that federal base? Are you crazy? Number one, right? That's number one. So you're not seceding. You're not going anywhere. Okay. So, but it's helpful that you have stated out loud your intent to do harm to the United States. It's good that you said it out loud. I'm talking about the Texas GOP there, who who put into their plank that they reserve the right to secede, which they don't. There's no right to secede. They reserve nothing. Okay. Number two, they put into their plank, the Texas GOP put into their platform a plank that says homosexuality is abnormal, and that they would use the state to attack non-cisgendered sexualities, non-cis, whatever sexualities. Like, if so, in other words, the Texas GOP, a minority, wants to impose its will arbitrarily upon another entirely different group of Americans for no reason other than because they want to. So that's arbitrary use of power. The Texas GOP is stating very clearly what they're about. They're about minority rule and arbitrary uses of power. Authoritarianism. That's what they're about. They're about authoritarianism. Now, like, remember, the National Republican Party didn't even bother to make a platform. They didn't even try. They didn't even write one down. Their platform is going to be whatever their leader says. And it looks like their leader is Donald Trump. Maybe Ron DeSantis is trying to get in there, but I don't know. Right now, it looks like Donald Trump. So, but in any case, that's like a mob tactic, right? Like, we're not. That's a group saying we're not going to tell you what we're going to do when we get into power. You're going to find out when we get there. That's scary, dude. That's like a threat. That's a threat. That's not trying to win votes. That's a threat. So, and of course, look who their leader is, a mob guy, Donald Trump. So, yeah, it makes sense that the GOP, the Republican Party at the national level, is acting like a mob organization. It makes sense. But since we can't look at the national Republicans for to see what their idea of what they'll do in the future when they get into power, we can't look at them. Then let's look at the next biggest group, which is like, the Republican Party in Texas. That, Greg Abbott, he seems to be running like Texas exactly the way Republicans want to run the rest of their country. We can look at Texas and extrapolate from Texas how they would run the rest of the country had they the power. Okay, the first thing you'll notice is that they don't have their electrical grid hooked up to the rest of America. So they get all these blackouts and extraordinary price increases out of nowhere because their infrastructure is built terribly. It's run by private organizations, and they're only interested in making profit, not in sustainability, not in like maintaining upkeep. They don't care. They just want to make money. And they make sure they keep making money by putting in politicians into Texas that help them do that. Oh, look who runs Texas. Rick Perry, an oil guy. Rick Perry is like an energy dude over there. He like, geez Louise. So of course the energy system is all messed up in Texas because it's run by capitalists who only want to make money. So you see, let's see, what? No, I don't see. What's going on? I don't know. All right. That should be enough to cover everything. So look at Texas. Texas is terrible. You don't want to be like Texas. Texas just had, remember, they just had that murder, that school shooting murder. And it's coming to light that the cops don't want to release their body cams. They don't want to talk to the press. They don't want anything. It turns out that the classroom may not have been locked to begin with. The cops never checked. They just assumed it was locked. They never checked it. They never checked the door. We would have found out about this a lot sooner, but the cops were stonewalling. They were covering it up. So you have a bunch of people, like in Texas, they say, like the governor, Greg Abbott, says we need to give more guns out there. We need more guns out there, is what they say. Greg Abbott says the same teachers who we don't trust because we think they're teaching our kids CRT, critical race theory. These same teachers we don't trust to teach about race, we also want to give them guns. The same teachers that we don't trust about critical race theory, we want to give them guns. Because because Greg Abbott thinks the 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 teachers will do a better job of protecting children than the police, who are heavily armed and have legal authority to do all sorts of stuff. So is it really, really, really about protecting kids, or does Greg Abbott and the Republicans have a different ulterior motive? I think it's a different ulterior motive, because obviously from their policies they don't protect kids at all. Just look at their state. Just look at Texas. They don't protect kids at all. We can't be looking at the Republicans for any kind of answers. By even entertaining them, like we give them credibility, but they're ridiculous. Greg Abbott is a Confederate. He wants to overthrow the government, right? His whole party is about minority rule. That's his whole party. His whole shtick is about how to control power, how to have the reins of power with the minority population. That's his whole deal. So that brings us to our first, our first, the first aspect of today, which is Juneteenth. Like, we literally fought a war against ourselves to make sure that Americans had the right to vote. And like, even back then, we weren't even smart enough to like figure out to give the right to vote to women. Like, we only gave the right to vote to men. Like, after the Civil War, it was dumb. It still took like a whole bunch of time until we figured out that, oh yeah, we should probably give the right to vote to women too. That's not cool. Like, oh geez. But like, so like, all this democracy stuff is kind of brand new, guys. That's why it's real fragile, and we have to really, really, really take care of it, because it's pretty brand new. It just popped up out of nowhere. Like, they were not counting on this happening. But yeah, like entire states up and got weapons and killed their fellow countrymen to say this person over here is not a person and they can't vote. Wow, you really, really, really have to believe something to think like that. Be filled with hate. To look at your fellow human and be like, like, you're less than me. What? I mean, it's in your own, like, okay, if you're a Christian, it's in your own book that 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 everyone's a child of God, right? All the humans are children of God. How could you look at another child of God and demean it? Demean the child of God. That means you're demeaning God herself. Right? Because God made the humans, and if you demean the human, then you're demeaning that which God has made, hath wrought. So I don't know, but I'm not a religious person really so much, so that's not really a good argument for me either. It doesn't really like do anything for me. But yeah, if you want to stick to human rights, your rights are a reflection of all the other humans around you. So if you deny the humanity in the humans around you, you deny your own humanity, and you diminish it. So if you want to see a visceral example of this dichotomy, of this dialectic, take the master-slave relationship. By maintaining, like, I first learned about it really through Karl Marx, like, and I in which Karl Marx is saying, like, through the dialectic, the master, by denying the humanity of and the human agency of the person that's enslaved, the master, the person who's called the master, also denies his own humanity and can never achieve wholeness. Never, never, never. It's built in. It's a built-in contradiction. You can never achieve wholeness under a master-slave relationship. And the way that is demonstrated was um, in the movie Django Unchained. And when oh, I forgot his name. The German guy, bounty hunter guy. He goes and he's walking around with Leonardo DiCaprio. He's walking around with the plantation guy, and the plantation guy is lamenting that all he sees are black faces, and that all he wants to do is talk about high-minded stuff and like the things he doesn't get to talk about because he's literally surrounded by people who are enslaved. And he's like, I want to express my humanity with all these high-minded ideas, but I cannot because I'm literally surrounded by people that I've enslaved. So I have no one with whom I may speak. so and that's like, yeah, dude, that's the world you built. You built. The reason why you're in the position you're in is because you enslaved everyone around you, and by enslaving everyone around you, you diminish your own humanity, and you can feel it. That guy, all he wanted to do was to be validated as a as a as a smart superior human. That's all he wanted to do because he couldn't get that validation from the people he enslaved. he can like force them, but they're not going to give it to him willingly because they can't, because they're enslaved. They can't give it to him. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't give it to him willingly because they're enslaved. The nature of their relationship is such that it's impossible for anyone in that situation to realize their full human potential. That's the whole point. That's why slavery is so bad, because it diminishes the humanity in everybody, everybody. Everybody is diminished, not just the people who are enslaved, but the slave holders, the slavers too. The slavers also lose portions of their humanity, and it hurts them, and they try desperately to get it back. All sorts of ways to get it back, to overcome that contradiction, but they can't because it's built in to the very way they do things. But people forget. Like, that's why we have so many issues in the United States right now. We never really got rid of slavery. We never really got rid of slavery. In the, I think, 13th Amendment, the amendment that bans slavery, there's a caveat. It's a caveat that says that, oh, it's okay to enslave someone for purposes of punishment. So you created a giant sized loophole. Great. All you have to do is get someone inside the the prison industrial complex, get them inside of that, and you can enslave them again. Take away all their rights, and it's like the same thing. It's just an evolved version. I get it. So that's exactly what happened. Slavery is just evolved into prison labor. And that's why we cannot advance, because we never dealt with our issues. We have unresolved business, unfinished business. Reconstruction was never completed. We have unfinished business. Okay, it is also Father's Day. It's Father's Day. My dad died this year. Um, well, he died like in body finally this year, but I think in spirit he was gone a while ago. Uh, he drank alcohol, so I didn't really get to know him very well. He didn't talk much, and when he was young, he was always at work. And when he retired, he was always drunk. So I could never really. And then I wasn't. Didn't even live in the same state. So like I couldn't really talk to him. I would call him on the phone, but the conversations were not like all that great. um, alcoholism, and I don't know what. I can't ever figure out why. Um, he drank. Like, what pain was he covering up? I don't know. I'll never know. But I do know that working sucked. He worked all the time, which is why I didn't really get to like hang out with him because he worked all the time. He was always working. So like, yeah, I didn't get to hang out with him, but his money kept me alive. Right? Him working put that house over my head. Him working put that food on the table. Him working put those clothes on my back. Him working put that bed for me to sleep in. So he wasn't there, but the fruits of his labor were all around me, always there, always nurturing me to keep me alive, to keep me going. So that I may not know my dad personally, like not as close as I would wanted to, because he was always working, and when he wasn't working anymore, I had moved away, and he had started drinking. Well, he had been drinking, but then it ramped up to like incoherence. But I do know the fruits of his labor, and those fruits went into me. So yeah, cheers to all the dads. And I was fortunate, right? I was fortunate to have a dad there, like, or a two-parent household, because for my age, according to my circumstances, that wasn't a very likely thing to happen. So it was real fortunate that I grew up the way I did. I was incredibly fortunate. All circumstances pointed to bad outcomes for me, according to the way things should have went. But for the love of my dad. And that's the thing, right? Now we're going to get to the next one, the next aspect. And the other aspect of this month, of this time, is that, remember, it's Pride Month. It's Pride. It's a time to celebrate all the forms of love that are not necessarily the 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 traditional ones, the ones that are most prominent, that but are still valid, right? So what's the joke? Algibity? Algibity? Yeah. So that's something that's very, I think I have to reiterate to some people. like in the social sciences, we have found, pardon me, in the social sciences, we have found that it does not matter if you grow up with a mom and a dad, a dad and a dad, a mom and a mom, um, whatever. What's important is that you have a uh, like, you have a two-person household, a two-parent household, because a two-parent household brings financial stability, and that's what kids need to grow up. They need stability, financial stability. They need money and stability, like a parent there to take care of their needs. And a single parent, God love them because they work their asses off completely and utterly. I can't even imagine the work it takes to be a single parent nowadays. But but study after study shows the number one thing for a good outcome for kids is not if your parents are gay or straight or trans or whatever. What the number one thing is if you have two parents or not. Because it's about financial stability. It's not even about two parents. It's about the financial stability. You can go look at Sweden. In Sweden, they don't get married till way late, till much later. But they have kids all the time, all this time, even though they don't get married. How can they do that? Because in Sweden, the state shoulders much of the burden of taking care of kids. So, because they recognize what kids need is stability. It doesn't matter so much about the parents. Like, well, I mean, it does matter about the parents, of course. But you need stability. And in America, stability means two parents of any kind, of any like orientation. Doesn't matter. Two parents. All right. That's a half hour. And I just like ran around and whatever. Check it out here. Yeah, this guy is potatoes. Potato. So yeah, he'll just like fill up on potatoes and then toss it to this guy. Oh, he won't pick up poison potatoes. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that thing's filling up quick. I need to design a solution, a better solution for this. This is not a long-term storage solution. Beetroot. Every layer does something different. Carrot. Okay, and then eventually I'm gonna turn this into a sheep farm. That's what I'm getting this set up for. Is a sheep farm. One for each color. Yay! So I can, I mean, not a sheep farm, a wool farm. It's gonna be a wool farm here. That's what this is getting set up for. And then I have to put pardon me, I have to put up a wheat farm somewhere. I need wheat. Then I can start making mud bricks. Yes. I think I'm gonna chop. This is a chunk right here. I can maybe chop this chunk out, extend it out a little bit, make it a chunk, and then build another like literally right next to it. um, Another one of these, but for wheat, and the pickup is different for that one. Should be okay. How do you? Oh, that's right. I need a bunch of seeds to fill up the guy's inventory. Okay, yeah, that's right. The last thing I made, I want to show you real quick. And I can talk about what all the hearings so far. Geez, the weeds, the hearings. Okay, over here I made a quick and dirty um village breeder. These guys just chill here. I have the beds way back here because I didn't space it out correctly. It has to the beds have to be 100 blocks away from the crop farm. Otherwise, they will link. And this is exactly 100 blocks away from the edge of the crop farm. So they will never link to these beds. But if I put them closer, like on this side, like I had them, it'd be too close. So, but I had to put them here because like it turns to water, and it's hard to dig a tunnel down through water. You have to make a tunnel first before you can dig through it. You have to make like rock first before you can. I mean, it's not that hard. I was just a wuss, I guess. I could have did it the other way, but I chose not to. I did it this way first. I didn't think about it. I did it this way first. This goes down to yeah, where all the villagers are kept, and then they come up an elevator right here. And then I send them off to wherever they need to go. When I do my next crop farm, I will be good to go. Nice and safe in there. Safe and sound. Okay, let's see. So the hearings, right? The hearings have been going on. What did we find out? Tons of stuff. It's been almost all Republicans or people that Trump appointed. Like hasn't really been any Democrats speaking, and all these Republican people have been saying Donald Trump knew that he lost the election, but he tried to overthrow the election anyways. He knew it was illegal, but he tried anyways. He knew it was going to get violent, but he encouraged them to attack anyways. Like, and it wasn't just like it was planned. He had planned it for months in advance. It wasn't like out of nowhere. It was a planned event. He had the Proud Boys go to the Capitol 30 minutes before his speech even started because they were there to soften up the police before the main crowd arrived. Because that's what the Proud Boys are. They're a bunch of Nazis. Yeah, it's gonna fill up. Jeez. I need to take care of that soon. Let me get out of here before it fills up. Oh, that's the other thing I need to fix. Is I need to change that because it wigs out sometimes and sends an extra cart for no reason. Causes all sorts of problems. Uh, I went to the same Saturday market and I got this Comedy 2021 deck of cards. Ooh. I want to open them up. It's not a deck of cards, it's a deck of jokes. Because, I'm not very good with the joke thing. So, hey, I get a little hope from my friends. Ooh, there's a lot of jokes in here. Ooh, check it out. Let me see where I am. All right, here. Go to bed real quick. Okay. Me just draw a random joke. Okay. Ooh, there's like attack. There's like stats on this. You can play a game with this maybe. They have attack stats. Nice. Okay. This one says comedy 2021. Who is this guy? Vancouver, Washington. Kevin Hossam. My niece plays on a rugby team that's sponsored by White Claw. They're called the Amazon Basics. Okay. Okay. The next card. The next card. It is Lydia Manning from Portland, Oregon. People use inbred as an insult, as if we don't all love sandwiches. Yeah. I love sandwiches. Inbred. All right. Okay. What other cool things happening? I think I got it. Oh, it's filled up. The water's right there, but it's filled up. How funny. That's kind of cool, but here, I need to make room. Get out of here. I don't need you. Oop. Yeah, I need you. Like ditch stuff. I don't need this. Get out of here. Wow. They must have really increased the rate of bamboo farming because this is outrageous. But cool. Nice. Do I have like ready made? No. No, you don't. Let's go over here then. Trade you that for this. Ha ha ha. Hey, look at that. I turned it all into scaffolding. Without even trying. And I still have string. Nice. My cat farm is working perfectly. All right. Well, that's kind of cool. I need more seeds to fill up people's inventory. That means I have to turn this into a wheat farm. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Wheat farm. Yeah, I don't need any of these carrots anymore because I've got a carrot farm. All the carrots I could ever want. Until I set up my wheat farm, I have no. Yeah. Now, I don't even need the wheat. I need the seeds so I can fill up my homie's inventory. That way he cannot pick up the wheat and it falls to the ground. When it falls to the ground, then my minecart will pick it up and deliver it to me instead. Ah ha 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 ha. It's brilliant. No, they changed the way food works. I go through my food a lot more now. Yeah, so sometimes Minecraft is really basic. Basic Minecraft. You got to start somewhere, right? So running low on seeds. Oh, that's right. I have all this stuff, dude. I got seeds for days. What are you talking about? I think I got to do it with fortune, and then like I'll get more seeds. I think. I have to replant this all. After the seeds. I mean, yeah, the wheat too, but come on, it's the seeds. I'm full. All right, how many seeds do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's enough for another stack. Oh yeah, I have all these seeds. Well, geez, this is more room. Uh, Yeah, look at. Oh, I got seeds for days, dude. You're all right. You can start designing your seed thing right now. Yeah, okay, that's plenty. Plenty of seeds. Seeds galore. You have not any want for seeds. Now all I just need to do is figure out where I'm going to um, set up that farm. So yeah, what else has been going on? Like I okay, so far six I've heard the what was that? 6 in 10 Americans think that Donald Trump should be indicted. Why so few? Why so few Americans? Like it makes me wonder like did these other people just not hear what's been going on or what? Did these other people like just want to overthrow the government? They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm fully aware that Donald Trump committed these crimes and I want him to overthrow the government." I don't know if it's like that, but that's pretty crazy. At least you're honest. I, yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people either don't know because they purposely tune out the hearings, or they want to overthrow the government, but they can't admit it because then their cover is blown. How about like right here? If I make the crop farm right here, I mean I'll tear this down because there's no room over there. I can put it above it. Yeah, dude, I can put it above it. Sure. That way I save space. They're all those guys are like, I want to kill you. Oh, look at me. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll just put it above. It'll be like the agriculture tower. Tower of agriculture. That way I don't have to chunk align it or anything because it's already chunk aligned. And then I can feed it into the pipe right here. I'll just feed it into the pipe again. That's so funny. I don't know if I can. Oh, I can put it on top. Yeah, because all these other ones have things on top and they still get it. It still works. Yeah, dude, I got this. I got it. I got it, Holmes. That's funny. Village breeder over there. Then I can. This will be the wolf farm, and then I need a place for horses. I think I'm gonna have my stable be over there, like closer to where Chauncey lives, because I can't build anything too close to the village breeder. The creeper farm is gonna be up there. Maybe out there I should build like something. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really prepare anything. I think I didn't really prepare anything this week because I've been doing like following the hearings, and like I've known Donald Trump as a traitor forever. So it's just kind of like just waiting for everyone else to catch up, I guess. Two sheep. Come on, sheep, I need you guys. Get you in your thing right now. I had some wheat, which I do. Last. All right, sheep, let's go. Oh, I got two. All right, so here. Work out the colors later. Come on, sheep. Maybe I need a lead. If I get a lead, they can like lead them into the spot I want. All right, dude. Oh no, there's a wolf. Stay away from my sheep, wolf. Ah! All right, here, over here. Oh no, stay there. Like, I perfect. You were in the spot. All right, stay right there. Perfect. Just where I want you to be. I have to get the lead off you. Can't. Where to break at? Got it. Okay, hey, I got one. Where'd that other sheep go? Come with me. Come with me. And then no wolves will eat you. No wolf will eat you. See, the hardest part is manipulating the freaking animals. And perfect. Stay there. All right, there are 2 sheep so far for my sheep farm. That just randomly showed up. And the wolves that want to eat them. I think if I want more sheep, I have to breed them because they won't just randomly spawn anymore. Yeah, there's that. There's the wolf. He's like, I want to eat your sheep. I bet you do. Right, my little wolf guy. Like, your sheep look tasty. I'm like, right? You cannot have. No. All right. Happy Pride Month. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Father's Day. Until next week. Peace. Pogokiro out. Stop.